Namaste. Welcome you all for the classes on meditation. This is the 41st in the series. We are exploring one of the fundamental kleshas called Avidya. And the components Patanjali gives under Avidya are mistaking the anitya to be nitya, that is, something that is temporary to be permanent, and mistaking ashuchi to be shuchi, that is, impurity to be purity, then mistaking dukkha to be sukha. And the fourth component he has given is mistaking the not self or non-self to be the self. The other three components we have seen. Today we shall deliberate on this mistaking non-self to be self, which is actually the very fundamental cause of all our suffering. If only we can realize the self, we become liberated. Jivan Muktas. Well, this is not as easy as it is said, but we must learn to meditate on these aspects so that the negative impressions in the chitta will eventually diminish, making way for us to enjoy an unending bliss. Okay, sit upright. Gently close your eyes. If you can't sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair. Keep the trunk upright. Palms should face upwards, tip of the thumb and index finger in contact. Have complete postural awareness. Feel your feet, legs, knees, thighs, trunk, arms, shoulder complex, throat and the neck, facial muscles and organs, the skull cavity. Just pay attention to the incoming and outgoing breath. Now we shall chant the sacred word Om 3 times. You have to inhale, and as you exhale, pronounce the word Om and get absorbed in the vibrations of the word Om. Inhale. Feel the inner calmness, quietness. Patanjali has clearly identified the root cause of all our suffering. According to him, the kleshas or the impressions in the chitta, especially the negative impressions, they are the root cause of our sufferings. The kleshas are avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. These are the five kleshas that Patanjali has identified. We have seen each of these in detail. Now slowly open your eyes. Patanjali says that Anitya Ashuchi Dukkha Anatmasu Nitya Shuchi Sukha Atma Kyatir Avidya. This we have seen. So to understand this, how we mistake non-self to be self, we shall look at the Panchakosha theory, that our system is made up of five koshas. The Annamaya, all that we can see, feel, our whole body consisting of all this musculoskeletal system, the nervous system, the circulatory system, all the multiple organs, they all come under Annamaya Kosha, food sheath. And what animates all this food sheath is Pranamaya Kosha, energy sheath. And what gets the input through the Pancha Indriyas, that is Pancha Jnanendriyas, and what commands the organs of action, Pancha Karmendriyas, is the Manomaya Kosha, or the sheath of the mind, and what actually determines what is to be done. That is the sheath of the intellect called Vijnanamaya Kosha. And we all experience Ananda through these things. That is called Anandamaya Kosha. Now we shall just contemplate on these things. Close your eyes. First is this body. We say, my body. We don't say, I am body. My hands, my legs, my eyes, my head, etc. We don't say, I am hands, I am legs, I am head, I am eyes. No. That must be noted. Which means all these things are not self. Similarly, my relations, my daughter, my son, my granddaughter, my grandson, whatever. So, this so called body or Annamaya Kosha and whatever is the relations through this, they are all not self. I mean, this is one perspective. There are many ways you can understand this aspect, but we shall look at this Panchakosha. So, this kosha called Annamaya Kosha is not self. Then, what makes this Annamaya Kosha or different parts of the body to work is the energy. That is the Pranamaya Kosha. Prana should be there. If there is no prana, there is no activity. So that is the Pranamaya Kosha. This can be sometimes more, sometimes less. We say that my energy is low or high. My energy. It is not that I am energy. It is my energy. Which means what? There is also an object. Just like the Annamaya. For example, we have a laptop or whatever. My laptop. We don't say I am laptop. My pen. My house. Similarly, my body, my prana, which means what? They are all objects. So this Annamaya Kosha is also an object. Pranamaya Kosha is also an object. Then what directs this prana for various actions? That is the Manomaya Kosha, mind sheath. We see through eyes, hear through the ears, smell through the nose, taste through the tongue, feel the texture or whatever through the organ of touch, that is the skin. So this information goes into the mind. Then, depending upon what kind of impressions, past memories we have, and the intellect, some decision will be made. The mind executes that decision through the organs of action, the hands, legs, organ of speech, organ of procreation, organ of excretion. So, in the mind, a lot of proposals, disposals, sankalpa, vikalpas take place. Then we generally say, my mind is disturbed, my mind is calm. So we use that word, my mind. We don't say, I am mind. Therefore, this manomaya kosha is also an object. Then when the information input through the sensory organs come to the mind, there is a discriminating faculty, a deciding faculty called buddhi, intellect. That is what is called as vijnanamaya kosha. That will decide what action is to be done. Mind simply gives the input. To put it in very simple terms, for example, we go with our small child to somebody's house and they have kept some biscuit. The child would simply go take the biscuit. Whereas our buddhi as grown-ups, as maybe slightly different, we may think, oh, without they offering, we should not simply take. So then buddhi will decide, okay, don't take, please wait for them to offer. Whereas a child which intellect is not trained that way, it will simply take. It's just an example to show how the intellect is the discriminating faculty. Based on that, we act. So based on our decision, well, that may be good or bad, then we say my intellect was not sharp, or my intellect was good. My buddhi went wrong. What does that mean? My buddhi. We don't say I am intellect, I am buddhi. So this vijnanamaya kosha is also an object. And whatever we do through this annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya is actually to experience Ananda, bliss. All of us want bliss. For that we do some external actions, but actually that Ananda should come from inside only. If Ananda is not inside, you cannot experience it. Many examples can be given. For example, one loves, let us say, some jalebis. You eat, you experience Ananda. But if you keep on eating too much, then same jalebi will become unbearable. If the Ananda is in jalebi, even the 10th or 12th jalebi you eat should give you the same Ananda as the first jalebi gave. It does not happen. Then we say, I am experiencing Ananda or I am experiencing Dukkha, whatever. We don't say, I am Ananda. I am filled with Ananda. So, this is also an object. And we normally mistake all these things. The Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya to be the self, without realizing that they are all objects. The question is, who is the subject? That is what we have to explore. Who is this who is saying, my Annamaya Kosha, my Pranamaya, my Manomaya, my Vijnanamaya, my Anandamaya? Who is this I who is saying, who is claiming all this as my? That I is what we need to explore. Who am I? Actually, that is the subject. The subject itself is the self. We shall further explore. These concepts, but we need to contemplate on this. We are mistaking the object to be the subject. That misidentification is the root cause of all our sufferings. So that is why our ancient sages have clearly emphasized that knowledge of the self alone is the remedy for all problems. That is the reason why inquiry into the self is very, very, very important. Contemplate on these things. We will have some more insights in our next class. We shall offer our prayers to Sage Patanjali. Take a deep breath. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिना नतोऽस्मि। हरिः ओम्। श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। शुभमस्तु।